Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Politics Now, where we're talking about modern politics in modern America. And today we're going to be discussing why Trump really has a pretty easy shot at winning the nomination, while DeSantis falls to third or fourth place. And yeah, let's just get into that. So, DeSantis, over the past few days, has not really been doing that well. Since last week, he's been dropping and dropping and dropping, and now he's at around 18 points, and he's at an all-time low. And Trump, he had a bit of a dip and then bounced right back up, and he's more so been staying at the same level. And ever since the indictments, he's not really in under any threat of losing the nomination. DeSantis is pretty much his campaign is pretty much collapsing, and a lot of people are leaving support for DeSantis and supporting all these other candidates, while Ramaswamy is also making a ton of gains and will probably overtake DeSantis for second place, as DeSantis is more so becoming one of these candidates who have around 5 or 3% of the vote. And Trump, he doesn't really have any threat or major and major enemy in the for the nomination, where he doesn't really need to do anything, and he doesn't really even need to join the debates because he already has so many votes and such a major lead over pretty much everybody that honestly it's not worth it to risk it in terms of doing a debate or doing a bunch of crazy stuff, which, yeah, it can get you a lot more support, but you can also lose a ton of support. So Trump is in the position to play it safe. DeSantis has been playing it safe, and that's kind of why he's losing support. When you're in second place, you can't play it safe because then you're just going to completely lose. And yeah, you'll stay at around the same level, which was kind of what DeSantis was doing, which he was staying around 20 points. But you're just going to be the best loser, and you're not going to win the nomination at all. So, honestly, DeSantis, you're not going to win the nomination, and trying this same neocon safe strategy, it clearly doesn't work. It's demonstrated that it has never worked. It didn't work in 2016, it didn't work in 2020, and it's not going to work in 2024. Honestly, pushing forward with this strategy, like a lot of these candidates down here, and especially DeSantis, it's not working out. DeSantis is, in a lot of polls, he's in third place behind Ramaswamy, and Ramaswamy isn't a major threat to Trump. He is basically playing for a cabinet position, and he's a complete ally of Trump. So he's not going to be taking away a lot of voters, and he's not seriously in the run for president. If this was only Ramaswamy and DeSantis, yeah, he probably would be in the running, and yeah, he would probably be in first place. But right now, he's mostly playing for a cabinet position. Maybe if he's lucky, he'll get vice president, but honestly, that's not very likely. But DeSantis is completely shooting himself in the foot, and honestly, his campaign keeps declining and declining because playing with this losing strategy and surrounding yourself with people who are all massive losers who can barely even maintain somewhat of a level of support within the Republican Party, where they play the neocon and play the rhino strategy, and they just end up losing. And he surrounds himself with a lot of the 2016 losers, like Jeb Bush. He surrounds himself, and even though he's running in this race, he's still good friends with Tim Scott. He, honest, honestly, he used to hang out with Mike Pence before, he had the major collapse of his campaign where he said that America's not his top priority. But up until recently, he has been fully within Mike Pence's sphere, and it's not a good look for people when you're hanging out with all these neocons and rhinos, because people are going to assume, oh, he's either a neocon or rhino himself, or he's going to be a shill for them, and basically more so a puppet for them. Where Trump Trump has a very strong base, and he has a very strong hold over the party, where even people who don't like him, if you attack him, which is the strategy that DeSantis has to play, they are going to defend him, even though they might not even vote for him in the primary. Because honestly, if you attack Trump, it is more so seen as you doing the work of the liberal media than as a simple, campaign attack where you're going for the nomination, so you have to attack him, but you also can't because he has such a strong pull and such a strong advantage over you. So DeSantis, he's in a lose-lose situation, and anything that he could do to improve his odds, he's not doing because he is employing the same losing strategy that loses other people the nomination. And for some reason, nobody ever learns from it, and they keep trying the strategy, hoping that it works, but it won't. It will never work. It changed in 2016, and it effectively died there because it was proven this strategy, this 2012 type politician, is not going to work. It didn't work in 2008, it didn't work in 2012, 2016, 2020, and it won't work in 2024. So trying this strategy is not good for his campaign, and that's why Ramaswamy is up in a lot of the polls and is currently beating DeSantis and giving Trump effectively a pretty large margin for winning the nomination. And he's up 34 points because DeSantis has fallen so hard in a lot of the recent polling. And having DeSantis use this strategy and surround himself with absolute losers who can't win an election because they can't beat Trump. Why would you employ the same strategy and associate with those people? It's a dumb idea, and it was a dumb idea to even join the race in the first place. But if you're going to join the race, at least have a clear strategy and a winning strategy. DeSantis, he doesn't really have a strategy at all. He only uses the past losing strategy, but he doesn't really effectively use it because he's not really using it. He's more so just sort of embodying it and more so being a puppet for those people who invented that strategy. But the actual strategy of him is, oh, I was a popular governor in Florida, so obviously I'll be a good president, which is not a very good strategy if you want to win a nomination, especially when you're at 18 points. It's not going to work. And this sort of, oh, I was a good governor, which obviously means that I'll be a good president, that's not how politics works. You can win the governorship, but you could still not win the presidency. Like, say I was a say I won the governorship in, I don't know, Idaho. I win the governorship there. Oh, I can definitely win the presidency now because I won by such a massive landslide in Idaho. Well, that doesn't mean anything because Idaho is a plus 20 red state, and pretty much anybody with Republican next to their name could win the governorship there. And you're not really impressing everybody by doing that. And it's a completely different political climate when you're running for governor compared to running for president. And this strategy of, oh, I was a good governor and won by a landslide, which means that I can obviously win by a landslide in the national environment, that's not how politics works. And DeSantis employing that strategy is clearly not working out. And honestly, he will go further and further down, continuing to not learn from his mistakes and continuing to surround himself with people who lose elections. And Trump pretty much has a easy shot at the victory for getting the nomination. So, yeah, Trump will win, and I don't expect DeSantis to win the nomination at all. So, leave your comments down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.